commentary, opinion only, not meant to incite, entice anyone to go after anyone I talk about, and be hateful towards anyone. The whole point of this is like, I'm just in awe of. I'm sorry, I have a hair. Do you see that? Ooh, so this woman, I just found out about her last night. He was in the title of this live, Lilly Gaddis. I wanted to title it Lilly Gaddis is a dumb racist, but I don't know. I just felt mixed feelings, even though I was going to spell racist with spaces in between the letters. I just was like so floored by this woman. And first of all, it's not surprising to me that she's so exceedingly dumb. And I feel like I call people dumb a lot. It's not that I think that a lot of people are dumb. It's that the content I choose to make, the topics I choose to make content about, often, yeah, it is like because it's like somebody that has a following, I feel like it might be harmful because, often their intellect is lacking. And she is one of these cases where it's obvious to me that she built quite a platform. I think in a matter of 2 years, I could be wrong about that. And basically off of being very hateful. She went viral on TikTok after doing a TikTok about women, how women aren't all gold diggers. She didn't go into more detail than that. I just saw an interview with her on Rumble, and she grew up in a big family, all boys, four other boys, and she was the only girl. And that explains a lot, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that like every single person in the same situation is going to end up like her, but I think that a lot of them do. Anyways, I'm gonna be going through my notes. I basically feel like she is recently demonetized, and that's how I heard about her. And she's the most recently demonetized provocateur of the internet. And it's interesting when you look her up, everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, a lot of people refer to her as a trad wife. And she said she herself never called herself that. It's just interesting to me. So many, it's like an example of telephone or something like obviously one or two outlets said that and everybody else took it and ran with it. She is actually a single mother, which there's nothing wrong with that. Hi, Homer. How are you doing tonight? There's nothing wrong with being a single mother. I cannot stress that enough. But it's women like her who are very hateful towards other people. And I mean, she is straight up racist. She will call herself racist. She will call herself a white nationalist. And like, like a few years ago, I'm like, I don't think there's anything wrong with being proud about your country, but like the white nationalist, like isn't that like the same thing as being a skinhead? Hey Diamond, how are you? Hi NM, how are you doing? I'm talking about Lily Gaddis. I just found out about this woman last night. She got demonetized on YouTube a few days ago. Hi, beautiful young lady. Merry Christmas and all love and luck from Denmark. I wish you all the best. Oh, owner call. Thank you so much. Hi, Mo. Hi, Curtis. That is so cool, owner. And the same to you. Merry Christmas to you. I think it's so neat that we can all hang out together from all over the world. This is like Star Trek shit. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I know I've been cussing a lot, and I know that's like not everybody's cup of tea, but honestly, like I just can't really like be myself. Like, they do say it's a sign of intellect, like smarter, higher IQ people tend to And once again, I was just saying this before everybody started coming in. I know I've been calling a lot of people dumb and stupid lately, but please don't think that I walk around thinking I'm smarter, better than like everybody else. It's just like the things I choose to make content about. Yeah, I'm often like, wow, I can't believe this is catching on. And this is one of those moments. Homer said, doing okay, heading to bed shortly. Need to take girlfriend a doctor appointment tomorrow. Hope you have a good night. You too, Homer, dude. I hope everything goes well. My here again each day for me, Diamond. Hey, Jory, how are you? Hi, Mr. One Piece, and hi, Sedate Kale. Sadat Kale. Um, oh, Faith, if I had $20, I would. I don't. How are you? Sadat, Sedate. I'm sorry if you can try to tell me if I don't know how you can tell me first or second. Sadat, Sedate. I am not Arabian. I'm mostly like English, Irish, and then I'm a quarter Swiss, German, and a quarter Colombian. I think the Colombian is what people are always curious about, really. So, I was talking about this woman because you guys, I've brought up racism a lot on my channel. And when Shiloh, the lady that yelled at the little boy on the playground, when all that went down and that woman raised $1 million, and like this chick, she was a big supporter of that. At the time, she was already, had a platform. Thank you, Faith. Just seen you were live, about to put my phone down. I'm gonna catch you again sometime. Okay, Homer, thank you. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Hey, Kentucky boy, how are you? I have green eyes. Never, John. Not as long as I'm on YouTube Live. It would be kind of weird if I just sat here and looked at you guys, wouldn't it? So we're talking about Lilly Gaddis. She recently got demonetized. She proudly calls herself a racist and a white nationalist. Excuse me, her content consists of cherry picking stories to be racist and have fun being racist with other racists. It's really wild. Like, we could do this all day long with blonde white women too, like we could just find stories of women like her, like girls gone wild and type stuff. But like, like what's the point? There's billions of people on the planet. And she calls herself a Christian. Once again, another one of these hateful Christians. Another Christian lives by the word of Jesus, right? Not at all. Um, so she is referred to as the female Nick Fuentes a lot. And I hate that I'm even saying this, but it's just true. I think Nick Fuentes is a lot more clever than her. I still think he's just as bad because he's racist, but he's not dumb. This woman is she is. She's dumb. And I can't help but notice so many women that get platformed, they seem to be I'm sorry, I know there's smarter and better women than this. I know there's smarter, better women than Lily Gaddis and Helen Andrews. I just know there are. There's lots of them. That one woman I made the shorts of yesterday, she's one of them. And it's like, but of course, Helen Andrews with her like radical, hateful rhetoric, she is what is going to, go viral like wildfire. And there's the same men, the same kind of comments. I'm assuming men, I think probably it's safe to assume they're like, "Oh, I love you. Will you marry me?" They say the same stuff. Well, they say it more to Lily than to Helen because of course, Helen has hit the wall and but they still say, "I love this woman. I love her." The way that men claim their love for hateful women, if you all could do that for actual good women, then I think we'd be on track, or it would at least be a better track to be on because it's just insane. If you look at the comment section of this Lily Gaddis chick, the way men pine over her. Oh my God. I seriously, I've never seen people talk about a woman saying they want to marry her so much. And I know it's like, they're being cheeky, right? They're not like saying literally, but it's just interesting to me that she brings that out of so many men. And I think all y'all that do that shit should be put on a list. Or in best case, we could divide the country because people like her and our supporters make me want to draw a line in the middle of our country and have all the racist fuck like them just go be on the other side of it. And then all of us that aren't racist can like live apart from them. And I hate to say it, but I think there would be maybe I shouldn't say it. It's a shame that so many Christians are so fucking racist, okay? I think a lot of them would be Christians over on the other side. There's so I'm gonna get in the chat. I really don't have that many notes. For instance, she said Vivek Ramaswamy isn't a real American. He was born and raised here. He's not a real American because he's brown, like, she didn't say because he's brown, but she doesn't have to. She is so racist. You don't she's, like, so hateful, and it's funny to me how people like her, they'll, like, stand 10 toes in it until they get demonetized, and then it's like, "Oh, me, poor victim, me. I can't believe that happened to me. I can't believe so many people hate me. I can't believe I'm being doxxed, and people are showing pictures of my child." Well, when you are so hateful, when you put yourself online, period, like, it's something you're risking. But especially when you are as hateful as she is, and then to turn around and act surprised when people are being hateful back, that, once again, like this is like the stereotype of what so many people think blonde, white American women are. And I don't think that most of them are, but like she is giving a lot of them a bad name. It's like the way that she talks about America, she is so dumb. There's no way, she is so freaking dumb. She literally said, this is a quote of hers talking about Europe, okay? Think of it as just an extension of the homeland for white people. Think of it as Europe is just the extension of the homeland for white people. What? And she thinks basically everybody here should be white. She is so dumb. And I know I've spoken out about what's happened in the last several years with immigration in our country, but like that's one of the reasons I do, because I do feel like there's not enough people that are nuanced about it, you know? Like I'm sorry, we can't just like let everybody that wants to come in here come in here. It's not feasible. We simply can't. For the same reason you can't just open your front door. I'm sure most of you have heard that analogy before. We can't just let whoever in our house all day long, you know, and with our doors wide open. It's the same for a country. Why are we the only country in the world that's like expected to have like completely open borders nonstop? And like it, and maybe I'm wrong for saying that. Forgive me. I know that there's been a lot of countries in Europe that have had a lot of immigration in the last several years too. And I don't know what the attitude exactly is over there. Obviously, somewhat the same for it to even be happening, right? But that's where like I always am quick to say they're not bad people. When our town became absolutely overrun with people from South and Central America, the crime rate really didn't go up. They're not bad people. They're not sending their worst people like Trump tried to say. And it's just so darn divisive. It is so crazy how you get, you know, so many messages from both ends. I'm sorry, I see the chat. If oh Gary, hey Gary, I am so sorry that I didn't see you talk about your ish last night after you left the chat. How are you doing now, Gary? I missed some comments from you last night is the point, and I hope you're feeling better. Hey Emma said, "Hey Gary, long time no see." Oh, Samadin. I liked Nick Fuentes. I was giving him a second chance. I didn't like him, and I was giving him a second chance until he said that I shouldn't be a YouTuber. He wasn't talking about me, but he said that women shouldn't do anything but be barefoot and pregnant, basically, and that includes YouTubers. And it's up to you all as men to tell us when we step out of line. I'm sorry, I can't deal with a closeted gay man and his hangups from being like a strict Catholic and closeted gay at the same time. And I think he's a horrible I think he's fun to listen to when it comes to conservative commentary, but I think he's a horrible role model for people. Hey TWC, how are you? And it's the same thing. Like we are a melting pot. We are. It wasn't all blonde white people that built this country. Okay. And like the way that she talks about it is like we need to take this country back, and like talking about it's so wild to me. There's been like more mixed race people. Did you ever hear about the Mungellans? I'm probably saying that wrong. There's like mixed race people in Appalachia that like people I never heard of this until I was in my mid 30s. Of course, like people weren't so nice to them, but they were like very, very dark skinned, had like kinky dark hair, were obviously mixed ancestry, and like I've heard the same thing in like down in Louisiana, like there's s- so much mixed heritage. Okay, I'm sorry. I am so all over the place. What the I have a few comments that I found in her comment section. It's just like these are the kind of people that like if you aren't literally 100% white, they're like the daughters of the Confederacy or something. And no, not all immigrants are bad at all, and it's like it's the policies that, like, I've always if I was them and I could just come to another country and get a better job and make a better life for my family, and it was legal at the time for me to just go do it, I would too. I would take advantage of that too. So I never faulted them as people for doing it. But, like, I didn't the town wasn't the same, and I've lived in Hialeah, Florida, I've lived in Miami, like, I I love the fact that we have so much culture here, but like and people down in Mexico don't like it when expats from here, a bunch of white people move in to one of their towns in 10 years and changes it basically overnight. Nobody likes that. It's not a racist thing. It's an economic thing mostly. I saw this case where there was this couple that moved to Mexico to retire, and they sued a restaurant nearby for playing live mariachi music. That restaurant had been playing live mariachi music for like 15 years already, and now they can't anymore because of this white couple that decided to move down there and bought a condo right near a bar, but then got mad when there was live music. Like, I just, oh my gosh. Um, so, it's happening we're all doing it to each other. Um, yeah, Lily makes me look forward to when white people are the minority, honestly. Yeah, she supported the racist Shiloh playground lady. To remind you guys, the lady that was yelling at a young black boy, which I'm still unclear whether or not he was autistic, whether or not he was autistic. He was a young boy, and she tried to say, I forget the details. I just know it didn't add up. He tried to take her son's stuff, and then it was like, what it was like one of those applesauce pouches things was just I'm sorry, she was yelling at a little boy like that over the applesauce pouch. And I'm going to say what a lot of people are afraid to say. Everybody wanted to back her up that did back her up because they're all racist because they wish they could go yell at a little black boy and take their anger out on somebody smaller than their own size too because they're fucking cowards. Because you have to be to be a racist. And so to see she put blackface on this Lily woman, literally, like I think it was for Halloween, and she's like, you can't, she's just like so painfully dumb. And anybody that can sincerely support her, like like it's just proof of how you have to be. Hate using the term low IQ because I know not everybody tests well, but you know where I'm coming from when I say that. Hi, Bill Clancy. I saw you for a second earlier. I meant to say hi. How are you doing, Bill? Nobody should yell at anyone anytime, especially a child. I know, especially on the playground. And like, I wouldn't yell at a child ever unless they were in danger. You know what I mean? Or they were hurting another child and like they weren't listening to me or something. Like, only then would I raise my, like, somebody would have to be in danger. It wouldn't be over a kid grabbing something. You're at a playground. That's one of my pet peeves. When moms take their kids to a public place like a playground with a bunch of like fun toys, and then they're like, you don't have to share your toys. Don't take your toys to a public playground if you don't, you want to like teach them this lesson and not sharing their toys. That is so ridiculous. And you moms that do that, you suck for it. So she did the blackface. So then there was these rumors started that her child is mixed race because or biracial and has a black father. Because keep in mind she's a single mother. Once again, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's awesome for her. I'm glad she's a young woman. She expressed she is glad she had her son and like I think it seems like she really is into being a mother. That's great. But that's like about the nicest thing I have to say about her. It makes me sad that she is a mother 'cause she's gonna be saying that shit to her little boy, who is not biracial with a black dad, but supposedly I haven't seen her dispel this. He has a Middle Eastern dad, so he is technically like, but in the way she showed him because people showed him anyway, so I guess she decided to just show him on her channel after that. And beautiful little boy. I can't tell. I mean, it looks like he could be half Middle Eastern to me, just like slightly darker skin. But he's like blonde like her. But like, yeah, you can. Anyways, I didn't watch it that hard. Um, let me see. She has 4 brothers. She's the only girl, 1 older brother, 3 younger brothers. She grew up on a farm and at the same time moved around a lot at the point where like all 4 of her brothers were all 4 born in different states. So that's weird to me. How can you grow up on a farm and move around a lot? Chances that you moved around so much so that like 4 kids were born in 4 states, like chances are you weren't living on a farm all those times unless your parents were farm hands or something. For all I know, maybe so. But she said that when she went viral, it was because she was arguing with her brothers who are very manosphere minded, and that they were saying all women are gold diggers, and she was just not getting through to them. So she decided to make a TikTok where she accidentally said the N word. This is like her branding. Like this is where she figured out that she might not have to work anymore. She got fired from her job because of all this. Because once she said it and it caught wind and like went viral, she kept saying the N word a lot. Oh, hey, hey, Zeus. I used to look down on women who got pregnant young. Now I think they are actually the ones on the right path. You get to have a family, and by the time they grow up, you still have time to enjoy life. Yeah, hey, Zeus. I can't tell you how many people told me to abort my son when I was 19 years old. It was so sick. It was like it was insane. Literally I'm sorry, everybody but my grandmother's seriously. And like um once I was like big and pregnant and definitely keeping the baby, like everybody. But I mean, okay, my sister she never said anything. But anyways, she was raised conservative, has divorced parents. So when you see her and then you take all these dynamics into consideration, could you imagine having 5 children, only girl? They had her second, so then, um, it's not so much as like, whatever the case is, she was the little princess, okay? I've never heard her call herself that or say anything to the sort, but, like, I just feel like, yeah, she's probably the way that she is because she grew up in a house full of boys and they were, like, um, teasing her a lot, and that's one reason why she can, like, dish it out, but she can't take it. And apparently, there's a lot of rifts in her family because of her social media presence. Everybody's been doxxed. She doesn't have a good relationship. She doesn't say with who has a bad relationship with, but she does have a good relationship with her mom and her younger brother. I know none of this matters. I just figured I listened to it and I learned it. She never called herself a trad wife, but does support the idea of it. However, she doesn't really support a lot of the women who are doing it online because um, it it was kinda like the same, it is kind of ridiculous to call yourself a trad wife, make a profession out of being, like, an online presence, and then, um, say, like, your husband supports you. See, she said that Lily said, "Husbands that can provide for a wife are needles in a haystack." Um, I don't know if it's that rare. I think maybe the kind of man she wants, she's probably one of these women that he has to be 6'2", make over 120K, and all these stipulations. And maybe I'm wrong, but like I just don't think it's a needle in a haystack. But I like the most of what I saw. What I liked the most was when she was talking about this topic. And like as somebody who is in the conservative space, who is a single mother, like, I think that but it probably wouldn't get as many clicks as her saying the N word, which I completely disagree with. I think, for me, I personally I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want to say it. I have mixed feelings about the way that other people are treated when they do say it, especially like this one time there was a woman that was pulled up on stage. I forget what concert it was. Was it Kendrick Lamar? I forget, but she said he wanted her to sing his song, and she was singing along with the song, and it happened to have the N word. And then when she did say it, everybody got mad. I just think stuff like that is a little ridiculous, okay? Because she was a white woman. But I personally, like, I couldn't imagine making an online platform out of like being hateful and spiteful and knowing that you're inciting stuff like that. And that being like she really is like I'm not she has this weird style. Half of her clothes look like pajamas. I can't figure out if she just like rolled out of bed and they're like JC Penney pajamas or what. And like I know I don't have a great style either, but it's just interesting to me. If you watch enough of her clips, you'll see what I'm talking about. She wears all these clothes that have like white trim on everything and like the pocket trim, and it just like screams PJs. She has this PJ style. It's funny to me. Um, she does talk a lot about mass immigration as well as racism, and, like, once again, she, oh gosh, it's just the white unity. She even said it's our battle cry. That's what it's like, I almost feel like, is this I know I think everything is a psyop, okay? Because sometimes I do think everything's a psyop. Anything that's like put in front of our faces on the internet or the TV, at least, purposefully. And it's just crazy to me because there are problems with mass immigration, okay? There's problems for everybody involved. But then people like her are going to, make people that are like, okay, I'm about ready to have these conversations now. Now that my town has been like completely changed in the last 10 years, like, and I've seen all I'm ready to be open about how oh, wait, that hateful woman, she talks out like she will make people not talk about the things that really matter. And once again, just like Helen Andrews, maybe she's not literally like MK Ultra put out there and trained for all of us, but she is what they want, therefore they promote her and her bullshit. So this is the end of my notes on her. There was comments on her page, just like reading the comments of these people, these hateful talking heads. This is a comment from Lilly Gaddis's YouTube page. If you take out mixed stock, we are 2%. I guess I'm part of that mixed stock, and most of you are too, and especially assuming you're Americans. Um, yeah, Sazumi, I started going to college when I was 16 years old too, full time because I was so smart. Dropped out because I was smart too. I decided to focus on my baby. Hi, Fendi, how are you? Um, I think Gen X will be fine in their old days because they're a small generation that millennial can meet their needs. Millennials might have a hard time. We'll need to figure out self-sufficiency in old age. Yes, Jesus, I agree. And I think that it's the price we have to pay. It's the least we can do. You know what I mean? And it's easy for me to say sitting here now, but I do believe in sharing, and it's always nice to be kind, Bill said. Yes, I swear some women take toys to the playground on purpose just so they'll sit there and be like, you don't have to share those, honey. So ridiculous. If you take out mixed stock, we are 2%. Like, are we in the 1800s? Mixed stock? See, this is what's interesting to me because I was naive. I sincerely thought most people were as kind-hearted and like did unto others as I did. You know, I know not everybody is like super sweet and everything, but I thought here in America, like especially, you know, like the kind of communities you have in Kentucky that I always talk about, like it really does feel like people don't care about the things that other people care about in other places. And like there's just not as many like stuck up people. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this kind of shit that happens, it's like turning the light on and seeing the bugs scatter and being like, "Oh shit, I didn't know there was bugs in this kitchen." And like, I didn't know there were so many racist people in this country. And like, I knew there was some, but like, I always say that Oprah quote where she's like, "I think they're old people and they're dying out," something to that effect. That's how I felt about it. Like, yeah, there's racist people, but it's on the way out, you know, it's like dying off like it should. But now it's wow. And I do feel like it's planned, it's divide and conquer in these economic oppressive times. Like people are gonna want to point the finger at anything and anybody else. I'm sorry, I'm gonna especially men, especially white men. It seems like they literally nothing is their fault. Literally every single thing is women's fault. Okay. Once again, not all men, but it's like these people that seem to get platforms. White unity. Another quote from her comment section. You are facing and we are facing white erasure. Which, once again, I can wrap my mind around, like, almost anything. Like I keep saying, like, when you really think about the numbers, the white people are gonna be a minority in this country eventually, and, like, what will that look like, you know? And, it's at a certain point, like, with the way things are, if things kept going on like, I think it is, safe to assume, like, there might be Spanish is, like, the 2nd national language at some point or something because it's just like like, this is like, I know I shouldn't probably be talking about this, but this is how I feel. If you are going to get a job in a country, you need to know the language. In most other countries, that's how it works, right? Like, you have to know the language because it's just, I worked with people who couldn't speak English in quality. I was in quality, and the people right after me worked for the company we were sending the parts to. So they were like the third party company that was checking my work, and they couldn't speak English. I never told you guys that before. It was maddening. And I loved this one woman. She was great. I really did sincerely love her. And like, it was just really difficult when you're trying to keep an assembly line going to have you to use a translator and the app, like the internet and the app. And like, so there's that for your safety component car parts. There's people that don't speak the language talking to people about them in quality. I don't think that's right. Um, but here we are, you know, and like because we are such good people overall, I wanted to believe that's why we were letting it happen, you know? But now it's like, is everybody just so selfish and wrapped up in their own little world? And that's why it's just like, you know, and what are you gonna do? Like, what can you do? There's not much you can do. But I just remember feeling like in that small town in Indiana, like when I went to my son's middle school open night and I saw the Future Farmers of America advertising in Spanish, I was like, what is going on? And why do I feel like I'm the only person in this room that cares? But like, you can't voice it or you'll be called a racist. So I'm done with my notes. And um, oh, Alvin, blacks, I don't know if you're just trying to be a troll, but yes, and white people have like fewer babies compared to, although the Hispanics that move here within 3 generations, their birth rate assimilates, you know. But you know, sorry, I'm saying you know too much. So is the language the problem or is it the race? Up dog funk. That's why I said it's the language. Anybody that moves here and wants to work, especially in an environment that like is constantly moving and you might need to communicate with your coworkers, especially for safety reasons. Yeah, I do think that you should know English. I'm pretty sure other countries you have to know their language. Like I couldn't just go to Japan and refuse to learn any Japanese. Okay. And those are kind of conversations that are hard to have because like I said, like I liked my coworkers that didn't speak the language. Two things can be true at the same time. I really liked them and I was glad that they had a few things can be true at the same time. I was glad that they had employment, but I would have preferred for them to be able to speak English to me, you know? And it's like I've said, I go to my ATM here in small town Kentucky and I have to press English on the ATM. I don't like that. I don't think people in Mexico would want to have to click Spanish on their ATM because a bunch of people from here moved there, you know? And I wonder when expats do move there, it probably is a lot of the same things. And they do complain about it. They don't like it either. But the whole thing is like we are America. We should be able to keep immigration like how it was for so long, where it's like, the numbers are trickling in at a rate that it doesn't take over resources of whole entire communities and change communities. Rap music is a bigger problem than we give it credit for, Shaw to the T said. Oh, Shaw, yes, you're right. And Gary, I'm going to read your comments. I don't know if I've missed your comments. I probably have. I think have you heard of the meeting that supposedly happened, I believe in the early 80s? Because rap started out as like very like much political and trying to bring awareness to like social political topics. Gosh darn it, I missed so many comments. I am concentrating on Gary's comments right now. Where are you, Mr. Carey? It's getting mean in here. These cockroaches are bad news. 8 below 0 tonight in St. Paul, Minnesota. How many memberships were given out last night? Like over 100, Gary. I lost count. How can everyone be happy if you're constantly fighting with your neighbors? I know. I'm happier when I learn to accept other people different than me. They are just as good as me. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all prospering in this life. I'm not racist. If you don't like someone, stay away from them. Calm down, Lydia. You're getting too excited. Franklin Roosevelt is my very favorite president. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see your comments. I wanted to get caught up. How are you feeling, Gary? And Mr. Carey has some family stuff going on. Everything's okay, but like, yeah, he's not going to be able to make it tonight, I don't think. But everybody think good thoughts about him and they've got the same situations going on. They've got a lot going on and a lot of pressing needs. So if anybody can donate to his Mr. Listen to me, his Mr. Fund Me, I'm his GoFundMe or his Venmo. Let me know if you need help with that. I know, I feel bad I don't throw that out there every single live, but it's also like I know everybody's having like hard times now. Hey, Mr. Nova. Oh, thank you for saying you are the best. I don't want to play with my dogs. Oh my gosh, I've had enough dog today. My girl is over there, but so okay, the single mom stuff. That's what you are better, Gary. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Nathan. How are you? Yeah, Alvin, we don't block people here unless they're like extremely spammy or overtly sexual. Gray Feast, my man is working. He's been working since 8:30 a.m. and he's probably going to be working for like another hour or two. And it makes me want to cry when I think about it, honestly. So that's why I'm trying to retire him and do well on YouTube. I was trying really hard to make an edited video, and my phone keeps filling up a space. My phone did this thing. My phone's done a few things it's never done before. I'm afraid my phone is going to like crash out on me. So if I do disappear for a few days, I mean, I guess I could try to use my son's phone, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to get a new phone like next month. I didn't want to do it before Christmas, but um, I'm doing well, TWC. How are you? Oh, Brandon, no. He wouldn't let me do I mean, I wouldn't okay, that's he wouldn't let me do OF. I wouldn't wanna do OF. Talk about getting made fun of. Oh my gosh. Um, he and I talk a lot about people that, like, whore their wives out, like, the off-grid channels really get to us, and it's so funny. One of the funniest moments of my life because like, he is so laid back, and, like, I'll never forget the moment where he was like, "I reported this," and he, like, showed me the thumbnail, like, it was just so unlike him. I was like, it was so funny to me that he was, like, reporting channels for their thumbnails. There was, like, this woman shooting a rifle and, like, it was, like, her under boob showing. I was so damn, and you guys probably know what I'm talking about. If you watch off-grid content at all, chances are you know it, and then there's, like, all these, like, Chinese ones with, like, naked Asian ladies camping. And they'll have, like, people in the thumbnail that aren't in the video, you know what I'm talking about? Um, anyways, Alvin, you're a fascist boomer, your time's up, buddy, the rest of us are progressing. S. Dot Vision. What exactly did Alvin say? Um, yeah, okay, so there was a meeting in the early '80s, and supposedly I forget, this would be easy to find. I would like to make a video on this. This man said that they were using it was like producers manipulating hip hop music, and I do believe, like, with the crack epidemic that, you know, once again, if it wasn't, like, completely contrived, it was helped. It was, like, assisted in some way by, the government, and, I don't want any I'm just I always tell you guys exactly how I feel. I think that Black people are so talented and powerful and great in so many ways, and that's why they try so hard to hold him down. I just can't help but notice, still people wanna talk about disparagingly, especially people like Lilly Gaddis, about people in the continent of Africa, and like, well, they're not making the forever chemicals that are forever in our environment, you know, like, say whatever you want about them. I am subscribed to so many people from all over Africa. They just seem to be like, there's something about them, and I don't know if it's, like, because of what happened to them here not that long ago, they have such strong voices, and they can have such strong, powerful voices and be so talented because that's, like, all they had for a little while, and anyways, that's why it really pisses me off when people are racist. She has a Middle Eastern baby daddy, supposedly, who's not in the picture at all, and there's that's yes, I've heard of this meeting, and it was someone from Bone Thugs and Harmony speaking about it, if I'm correct. Fendi, I don't remember or not, but I'll figure that out. Why are you saying 6, 7? It sounds so stupid. Gary, it's so stupid. I was talking to my son about that a few weeks ago. I'm like, so that's all it is. It's just 6, 7. And he's like, yeah. Um, would you choose to move to Africa or Europe, Derek and Lisa Armstrong? Did you know I have my Swiss grandpa lived in Africa for 2 years, Derek. If you're trying to like pull one over on me or something, my grandpa moved to Africa and learned Swahili. I'm so wherever they speak Swahili at. I'm sorry. It was in the 50s. So I wouldn't want to live anywhere other than here. If I had to choose, I guess Europe, because I'm literally mostly European, you know? And I can't with heat. I'm not good in the heat and I burn really easily. So I wouldn't want to be near the equator. Um, yes, they are very captivating people, beautiful culture. Yeah, anybody that does say 6, 7 a lot, let me know if I'm missing it so I can block them. Hi, Moonshiner. How are you doing tonight? Oh, that's cool. Siddhant Malavia. I'm sorry, I'm probably. You're from India. Somebody very first was from Denmark. Hi, Hoobs Groove. I don't know what flag that is, Hoobs. Can you tell me? I'm sorry. I'm so ignorant. It's blue and yellow. Okay. Do not mislead us. We rebuke you. Anyways. Oh, thank you, Paisley the baddie. I really appreciate that. That really, really motivates me. I just have to rag on her because it's interesting to me. Like, once again, I don't want to make any single moms feel bad. I think that she's badass, and it makes me look at her as like more of a woman. The fact that she takes care of her kid all on her own, and it does suck that like she just got some money taken away, but it's a lesson to be learned, and I don't understand how she wasn't expecting it, especially, like, putting on blackface at Halloween, and people like her, it's, complete projection, talk about, like, feeling, low self-esteem, the people who are the meanest, like, they're coming from a place of, like, inadequacy and fear. She is, like, a perfect example of this, she comes off as very brash, but I don't think that she she really feels that way. I think that she really is genuinely Switzerland was just stay neutral on the origin of the mozzarella stick. S. Dot Vision, I don't get that. Have you ever made an entire year's worth of mortgage payments from money that you've earned yourself? Yeah, John, I have. I worked at a factory for 18 months, John. My husband stayed at home while I worked in auto manufacturing. I talked about it a lot here on YouTube. The only reason I stopped was because I got a hysterectomy in April and it caused a third hernia. I already had two when I went into the surgery, and then I had an incisional hernia created during the hysterectomy. After which I couldn't really hang with the 10-hour factory shifts on my feet making car parts. John, was your name John? I already forgot. Yeah, so there's the answer to that. Yeah, I've made over a year's worth of mortgage payments. And you want to know something else, John? I paid my own back child support when I was 18 years old to my mom because my dad is such a great person. Can I have a shout out to my friend Pat? Happy birthday, Pat. Wow. Thank you. Wows. I don't know what HK, what does that mean? Listen to the signs. Okay, Harry, you're being spammy. If I'm missing people that you guys think I should block, will you let me know? Like it's, you can probably tell I'm not like looking in the chat constantly. TWC, do you want to be a mod at TWC? If any funny business starts, I know it's gonna be I know it's you. If you start making thousands of word blocked. Hey Keith, how are you doing? 18 months of work to live on Easy Street afterwards. Sign me up. Did you not hear me? I have three hernias, John, and I didn't want to go through major surgery a second time in a year, even though like it was tempting because I had met the deductible. And I take care of a severely autistic 8-year-old. I'm sure you couldn't do what I do, John. I'm sure of it. Anybody that makes it a point to get into random YouTube lives to try to just like tear the person down about their life, I don't have to know anything about you. Just the fact that you're doing that tells me everything I need to know. Okay. Let's pray for John that he gets a life eventually one day, and maybe even a woman that will make his house a home and raise his kids well. We have two older sons who are doing great. I was talking about Lily Gaddis, but I already got done with my notes. Bendy. Now I won't know if there's funny business. I'll make you guys both moderators. Yeah, I don't. Geez Louise. There we go. Okay. I'm fine, Lydia. Just watching Sean Combs docu-series. Oh, I heard about that, Keith. Um, oh gosh, this person I blocked is coming back to say we rebuke you over and over. You know, the more you rebuke me, the more you're helping drive traffic to my channel. Typing in "we rebuke you" over and over, you're just furthering more people to be able to find my channel. Do you get that? Um, Happy birthday, Pat. Oh, thank you, mods. That's nice. Not gonna lie, the lawyer's trying to ban it really makes me want to watch it. Yeah, I just saw people talking about it. Like so many people I follow do like compilations where it's like TikTok, people just talking about a certain subject. Hi, Robin, how are you doing? Um Yeah, see, okay, so this is really interesting to me. And it further proves I had a payment plan where I paid a different amount every week because I couldn't settle on one fixed sum. Um, okay, Leon, I don't know if you're talking to somebody else, but um, the kind of people that she attracts are the kind of people that are like coming in here and spamming the stream. Wigger, wigger. I haven't even heard that word in like years. That is so funny to me. Wigger. Kentucky Fireman says hi. Hi, David Green. You're saying you're a Kentucky Fireman? Thank you for all that you do, David. Because I really do appreciate people that do things that are hard work that help us all. Are you trying to say that I have a big forehead, Mama Luigi? I'd love to see what you look like because I'm sure I look better than you. Once again, I already know that I'm a better looking person than anybody that's just like coming in here straight up saying something mean about my looks because anybody that was better looking than me, they would just be living their life being a good looking person. People that feel bad about themselves because they aren't good looking, they're the ones that go around like trying to say mean stuff to people. I've heard it all. And I I never thought I had a big forehead till I started making videos, and I'm like, "My forehead does look kinda big," and I use this dermaplaner thing, and I've actually accidentally, like, nicked my hairline a few times. It's like this, like, razor thing you use to exfoliate, and I need to stop. Oh, butter pecan ice cream, that sounds so good, Eric. How are you doing? Oh, Fendi. Oh, thank you for wanting to be one. Just like people who are spammy, that say the same thing over and over, whatever it is. If they're saying it over and over, block that and block anybody that's like sexual stuff about me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like if it's about me or my body specifically, and super hateful, right? And, like, the racist shit, I can't stand that, and it's like, like, Lily is a great example too of, like, the weak-minded person that sinks into that, like, I kinda imagine, and, of course, Candace Owens had her on, like, a year ago. See, I've always had mixed feelings about her, I've always felt like, "Nah," like, she's a grifter herself, and I wanted to believe in her. She tried to say that, like, 3 countries have death, um, uh assassination plots out on her, and then she's, like, out at Dollywood supposedly. Did you guys see that? She, like, took pictures with people at Dollywood. I didn't see the timestamps of these pictures myself, but, like, I just tend to believe that. I don't know. She seems to be doing the, like, up and down thing. Candace Owens, she's like, "All this information, all this crazy shit," and then she bounces for a week or 2, and she's like, "Yo, I have to go for a week or 2." It's that same, like, up and down. See, like, iron, this is the kind of stuff that Lily Gaddis and people like her, that's you have to be so dumbed down to have that kind of hive mind where you, like, wanna attack anybody that doesn't think like you, that goes hand in hand with the racism, and, I just look in her comment sections if you want a good laugh. We are the 2%. Like, are you kidding me? That has to come from a place of inadequacy too. I couldn't imagine okay, she wants or I didn't say this, she wants our nation to be homogenous. Does she not know what homogenous means? And it's, like, literally impossible, and I do think it's beautiful when countries are smaller and homogenous, everything melds together better, and it seems like they have better countries in a lot of ways, okay? It's just true, like, a lot of the Nordic countries, and I don't mean that like a white thing, but, like, it seems to be like the smaller homogenous countries. We're never gonna be small, and we're never gonna be homogenous, and, she's just an example of why there's things like all white towns taking place. Um, Pinhead said, writing a gender peace plan right now for my gender psych class. Oh, Pinhead, that's a peace plan. I like the thought of that. Instead of talking about like the divides, you're actually talking about solutions. That's what we need more of. And Keith said, as we enjoy building a beautiful life, as we just automatically and naturally adapt, improvise, and overcome to naturally thrive in positive and not so positive situation with every healing breath. How are you doing, Keith? Fendi said, good luck on that. Dave, your hive-minded answers sound the same, just opposite side. Well, Dave, I don't think so. I have people disagree with me all the time. In her comment section, it's literally a hive mind. Look in my comment section. I don't have that many comments because I don't have 190,000 or whatever subscribers. But like everybody is like, yes, queen. It's funny. And like, it's probably the same kind of men that use the word simp a lot. And they're like simping for this woman who's just like making money because she found out that she can make money if she says the N word. And like I always look at it as like this could be very short-lived. I'm grateful for the YouTube AdSense money while it's here, but like it never ever lasts a lifetime. It hardly ever lasts more than 5 to 7 years for average YouTube content creators. And like to especially be like she was, oh my gosh, like you just And then she said, and she was on an interview like recently after being demonetized, I can't just go get a job because of it's well, you should have thought about that before, you know? And she could just go get a job. There's several places that would hire, in my opinion, I think there's several places that would hire her. Now, maybe if they found out she had said all of that and she was working with the public, but like I think there's so many places that are so desperate for people. And I couldn't figure out what she was doing for work before, but she was working and got fired because of what she was saying. Um, Dave, laughing my ass off. I love people that think they understand politics after they jumped on after Trump. Hey, well, Dave, I don't love how people say very vague comments that are not a counterpoint to anything that I've said. And like, I really would like it if like somebody that didn't agree with me could actually offer a counterpoint for once, and we could do like a real debate. I mean that. Like, I don't like just being called names or being told, something about my looks. That's like all you guys have. And that's why women are like getting more of the higher degrees and like excelling in more fields and stuff. And like y'all need to catch up and start like thinking critically more. And I'm a mother of three sons, so like I want that for you all. Wait, is this a white supremacy thing? Mama Luigi, the woman that I'm talking about is Lilly Gaddis. She calls herself a white nationalist. It's a real nice way to say white supremacist. She went to a freaking conference in Austria recently. That's where that video she said, think of Europe, think of it as just an extension of the homeland for white people. I'm sorry. Europe is just the extension of the homeland for white people. From what? She is so dumb, you guys. Really think about how dumb and how many ways that is. We came from there. Lily, why are you so dumb? Oh, you have to be like walking around making a career out of saying the N word as a blonde haired, blue eyed white girl who, she grew up like this, being around like her brothers, and I'll admit it, like back in the late 90s and early 2000s, it was more common for white people to say it. You know what I mean? Like I grew up like with it being more acceptable and but I do believe that I don't know. Words have power. If like somebody doesn't want me to use a word, I don't want to use it for my own personal reasons, but I think I would like to think that I wouldn't, even if I wasn't okay with it personally. The same reasons that black people don't want you to say it as a white person is the same reason I just don't want to say it. It's a nasty word and I don't want to have anything to do with it. And what good is it gonna do? Um, I'm for Trump, TWC said. And Fendi asked you why. I'm just at the point where I think they're all 2 sides of the same coin. Like, I'm never gonna trust any politician that gets to the point where they're running for president ever again because, I know it sounds really pessimistic, but if you get to that point, you're just, corrupt or you wouldn't have gotten to that point, and they're all the same. Nothing is improving, nothing is changing. The only thing that is, changing is, like, billionaires getting richer and all the rich people getting richer. And they're all so dumb too. They're so dumb. It's just like I say that when I say that, I mean it like, like selfish, evil, ignorant to everybody else's plight, like not doing unto others. That's what I mean when I'm like, oh my gosh, how are these people so it's just like crazy how you can be an adult on this earth and like care so little. And yeah, I didn't find out about this woman until yesterday. Nigga, Nick, is the word that I'm talking about. I'm glad your college degree got you a job in. Do you remember if you touched a hot object as a kid, you would instantly pull your hand back? Yes, Kusan. Nickel sack, that's so funny that your picture is that Tom from MySpace. That is so funny, nickel sack. MySpace was so awesome. Back when the internet was still like it should be now, now everything's white. I mean, like white background, Remember when things like websites used to be cool and have some character? That's what I remember when we first got access to the internet. My sister learned how to code and she could like, make a website from scratch. And that's kind of like what MySpace was, right? You'd like put in the code for whatever and like um art of war, divide and conquer. Yes, Keith, exactly. And I saw somebody say when before fascism starts, they know to divide and conquer because then people aren't going to stand up to the fascism. And, in my opinion, I think that's what's happening. Hurt people, lots of trauma out there. Oh, Keith, that's so funny that you said that, Keith. I swear on my life, I almost wrote that in my notes. She is so obviously one of those hurt people that are hurting people. And like, let's be real, okay? There's always going to be an exception, but most people, I would venture to say 99.99999% of women that have a child with a man would like for it to work out with that man. Okay. Now, there's always going to be exceptions, right? I understand like there's going to be situations where okay, maybe I shouldn't say 99%, over 90, 95% of the time. Basically, she has gone through a lot in the past few years. She made it sound like the dad isn't. She's like, I have no drama. I get to my say completely. She made it sound like she doesn't have a co-parent. I could be wrong about that, but that has to be hard. I don't think anybody would choose that if they could choose at least a healthy co-parenting situation, right? I mean, like it would be so hard to not have that, and then to see dads and the kids with their dads and be reminded every single turn. And I was like that when I was pregnant when I was 19. I swear every single half of the babies born, even back then, 18 years ago, are born out of wedlock. But every single thing you ever see relating to babies, the woman has a big honking ring on her finger. Like every single toy, pregnancy, baby. Oh, you get a lot of shit like the registries and magazines. Once again, especially 18 years ago. And I just remember like everybody kept asking me where my husband was in the hospital. Like 50% of babies aren't born out of wedlock. I don't know. I just think that's interesting. So, anyways, so I feel for her and I feel for all single moms. And I don't ever want to come off as like, ha ha, like I think there's anything wrong with being a single mom. I just think it's super interesting when people like her, who is really quick to talk down about people, but a lot of conservatives would say the same about her, but she's okay because she checks off the boxes of being like a racist. They're not gonna say what I think a lot of conservatives would say to her if she wasn't saying the things that she wanted them to say. Hey, Lydia, you can say the N word. It's okay. You get a pass and word pass, N word pass. Fendi, thank you for giving me that, but I'm not gonna use it. At least not in public. But yeah, like, I wanna take you guys to the Breonna Taylor Memorial. Like, what happened to Breonna in Louisville, um, I've seen racism play out in so many ways in my life, and it's just like, this only perpetuates stuff like that. That's how I look at it. Lilly Gaddis talking the way that she does, it might sound weird. I don't care. It's the reason why there's people whose apartments get shot into by racist cops for no good reason. Oh, okay, like her boyfriend was a drug dealer. Whatever. It's not a reason to endanger everybody around them in the apartment complex. It's such bullshit what happened. And she was like an EMT, like in my healing work, I asked what would be beautiful for your life to be like to bring healing. That's nice, Keith. Norris, the US will always be a pillar to the free world. God bless America, its allies, and its foes. That's a really nice sentiment, Norris, and thank you for saying it. Mune, Mune, Shiner. I'll have to remember that, Keith. I never thought of it that way. Keith said, healed people don't lash out as a natural reaction, fix our loops, fix our lives. Yes, and yes. Yes, you are right about that, Keith. I know I come off as like very emotional. I used to be so much worse. Mama Sita said, every woman wants a man to change, but very few men are willing to change. Okay, thank you for saying that, Mama Sita. I'm glad you said because it's like that's the thing. Like women are so strong and they do make it work out, and they are the what over 90% of single parents are the women. The women take all the accountability most of the time. And it's sad, but I think if the woman could have a partner that was healthy enough to be present, she would choose that, right? And it's a really sad realization when you come to that. Like me and my sister, we were happy when our parents got divorced. We were sincerely happy. No, I remember feeling sad later, like years later, missing my dad, not seeing him that often. But like, I never was like, oh, I wish my parents were back together again. So I totally believe that, like, you shouldn't stay together for the kids. But yeah, it's just interesting to me the way that she talks about, especially economically oppressed. That's my new favorite term, in case you guys haven't noticed. Economically oppressed minorities. When a lot of people that want to harp on the same stuff, like they would also say something about her being a single mother, and she knows it, but she gets away with it because I believe she's tall. She's a tall blonde woman. I am a real talker. I and the public know what all school children learn. Those to whom evil is done do evil in return. Shaw to the T said, "Ooh, Shaw to the T. I wasn't expecting that comment from you." Aaron said, "Thank you for being here, Mama." Are you talking to Mamacita? As we enjoy building a healing circle where evil shall not enter without ever increasing unease. Yes and yes. Yes, I like that. We're all in a golden orb of light, even though we're all over the world. That's a cool thing to think about. Oh my gosh, you guys, I saw the coolest thing, and now I don't remember the name. Okay, they found this DNA fragment, and they're saying that there's humans that used to be able to like see and like feel the magnetic field of the earth. Oh, I wish I could it was like I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. It was something along the lines of, like, the I'm gonna s I wanna s Jesuitics? It's not it sounded like Jesuits, but with a D at the beginning. I could easily find it in my history. So they saw how there's like this there we don't know, it could be a contamination from a virus is what some anthropologists are saying. But there is a race of humans and there's like lore from this region of people that lived in the mountains and could see in the dark. And that's another thing that they would have the ability, like infrared ability. We see three spectrums of light or something, they could see a fourth, and that's like they had to have been amazing hunters. And get this, they think that they might have been able to like move there why there was the big huge things of rocks and like pyramids could be built and the Easter head statues and everything because they could move things with their mind because they would see a big rock as the frequency that it is and be able to like move it with the frequency that it is. Isn't that wild? Um, Pineal gland calcium buildup. Yeah, I do think that that's probably a problem. Um, do you want me to stop because I'm talking about your queen, Mickey, because you don't have a mind of your own, so you have to obsess over somebody as brain dead as Lilly Gaddis. That's pretty sad, really, it is. And see, I feel like I'm coming off as more hateful than I want to be. So we're all innocent babies. Hey, Pyramid, how are you? We were all born innocent babies at one point in time, even Lily Gaddis with her pretty blue eyes. And like we all had fucked up stuff happen to us that made us away. And like I can't help but think that's what people were speculating. She had a biracial baby because like that's where her hurt is coming from, you know. But it does kind of make sense to me. Like, yeah, maybe it is a Middle Eastern man. It's still the same thing. She's still like mad that she let this person that wasn't white Aryan, which is funny when you really know, like, real Aryan race, like, Hitler was so wrong about, like, what Aryans are, like, from Northern Iran, and, like, oh my gosh, they're just all so dumb, you guys are so dumb, and, like, diversity is beautiful, it makes for a stronger race, that's what I feel like Hispanic people, have better healthcare outcomes, Hispanics are mixed race. They're not one race, they're 2 races together, so it just kinda makes sense to me. Like, in nature, my mixed dogs are better off than if they were full-blooded Great Dane or Neapolitan Mastiff. They have longer lifespans just like most you know what I mean? Most purebred dogs have, problems. You have no idea what Aryans are. Me, Mon, why don't you tell me what they are? Go look it up in Chat GPT. Give me a big Chat GPT response because I just know that's what you're about to do. Because when the term was coined, it was a region in North Iran. Aryans are the Yamnaya, which come from Ukraine, not Iran. I'll have to look that up, Nimon. Um, Dict Gaius Julius Caesar is losing brain cells. Well, thank you for coming in here to comment it because over an hour into it, there's still 30 people in here. It's because of so many people coming in here and commenting stuff like fake news. Oh dear, she's a few. Could you guys at least finish your sentences? Because so many times when you it's like a run like, the sentence just drops off like that, I'm like, "I wanna know you were I wanna know." Yep, same reason why inbreeding makes you so fucked up. Yes, carnivorous, exactly, and I brought that up too when I brought this up a few nights ago. Exactly, especially the more you do it, you know? So, oh my goodness. Well, Christira, sorry. I was talking about Lilly Gaddis. Someone wrote Donald Trump is the greatest president to ever exist. If you agree, forward this. If you don't, say I don't. Oh, goodness. Hitler said it was the Aryan race, but Aryan is from Kazakhstan. Yes, let's get it, Hit. That's what I was thinking about. Like, are you trying to are you saying that, or are you making fun of me? Because the laughing face, I don't get it. Worry about your skills and mindset, build systems, make bank, be blessed. Yes, that's all any of us can do is focus on getting ahead. Hi, Melissa. How are you? And hi, Henry. How are you? It's a dream that could never be realized in this world of many colors, Keith said. Thank you. No, 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 no. I do need to post. This was like $9 on Amazon. And I'm such a dipshit. I always get paranoid. I'm going to like post my Amazon when I post a link. And I even, that's how paranoid I am. I'm like, I sign out of my account and I'm like, there's been times I'm about to post this in my community tab. And look at average IQ and average lifespan in different countries. Okay, Ludwig. I just don't think that the marker for everything across the board, like people are so different, and that's what's so beautiful about the world. Like, first of all, as a mother with a severely autistic son, I wasn't in the room with him when he got his last IQ test. But everybody's brain works so differently. Some people might have a bad IQ test result, but be brilliant in their own ways. And I don't know who would have I know the countries with the highest life I know a lot of people around the Mediterranean have a high lifespan and Japan have a high lifespan. Um, and you know, a lot of that has to do with diet, doesn't it? I'm assuming that you're trying to say something about white people. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I have a question. Can you spell my real name? My whole real name, Phoenix Alexander. Well, yeah, I could. That's a silly question. If you are worried about things, you can control your burning blood sugar for nothing. Oh, that's funny, Keith. You can't control, you mean Elizabeth movie. I've never seen that. Oh, thank you, Sanila, for saying you like my hair. Bring out the spreadsheet, shall we? It's not paranoia, it's just being hypervigilant, Keith said. Yes. And that's another thing about like Lily being surprised to get doxxed. You use your real whole name and you say these horrible, nasty things. Like, of course you're gonna get doxxed eventually. But I think she's doing fine. She's jet setting all over the world, in my opinion. Oh, Mike asked what causes autism. Well, some people are born with it. Bernard Remlin, the father of autism, the first psychologist to say this isn't just cold parenting. Like there are children born with it. That's classic autism. And then regressive autism is environmentally induced. That's what Bernard Remlin said. And I agree with him. And that's a variety of factors. And it could be like a domino effect as well. And yes, I do believe that Tylenol could be a cause because for 15 years now, there's been research saying Tylenol is a glutathione depleter. Glutathione is the master antioxidant in the body. It literally helps you process everything, literally everything from the protein that you eat to the pollution that you breathe in. And so when your body is depleted of glutathione, you might not be able to handle certain preventable medicines that they treat as one size fits all and put completely bypass the immune system and go in there and all the natural immune defenses to create. Okay, so um it's interesting to me. I just think it's big business paying them off. Like they know there's that link. They know there is. And they don't want to admit it. Tylenol themselves tells women on their Twitter account not to take it when they're pregnant. IQ is very important and a good indicator. Yeah, Nimon, I don't think so. I just don't. And so people's whenever people want to make it about who's more civilized, who has a higher IQ, this like bell curve stuff, I just think it's like we're coming to this point in time right now where it's really easy to look around and like, I don't think what makes you more civilized, like I said, is putting so much trash in the ocean it can't clean itself and there's major die off. Forever chemicals in our lakes and our soils and our groundwater. I don't think it's very smart to have monocrop farming that's depleting the soils. Our soils are about, our topsoil is about to just blow away because there's no water retention in it, because that's what happens when you rotate, not soy, corn, soy, corn, soy, corn. That's not rotating. Like all of these practices are so painfully dumb, and part of why they keep being perpetuated is because everybody thinks the white man is something to look up to and revere and think is really smart. They're literally killing the whole world. So yeah, my African brothers and sisters, I think they're smarter than the Nestle CEO fucks that are going to their country and stealing their groundwater from them and making it harder on them so they can put it in a plastic bottle and sell it to us. Like I don't see why that is like unique to anybody. Like oh okay, I do. I do. Duh, cuz you're racist. Because you don't want to see the truth that white people are literally destroying the planet. They might have been what built America, you know? I agree. Like there was people here warring over territory already, white people that came and conquered the land, you know? Like it is what it is. It's just like that's how it happened and we're here now. What can we do about it? Um we can help bring awareness to it happening in other countries, like Nestle stealing the groundwater. I forget which country that happened in, but it's like, oh, somebody gave memberships. Acid burn, how are you? Acid burn, I asked you twice how your doctor's appointment went, and now I'm assuming that you didn't go, or else you would have said something to me, acid burn. I really hope you went. I've been taking aspirin for over 50 years. Oh. Do you have a heart thing that you take it for? Like the baby aspirin? Keith. Remy said, I'm a police officer in the USA. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Remy. Thank you for all that you do. We had a firefighter in here earlier and now a police officer. She doesn't think IQ is a good indicator of intelligence. Stop talking, lady. Ludwig, no, I think that everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, and like taking an IQ test isn't for everybody. Some people don't test well. So, it's just because people have been put in a box for 8 hours a day of their life and they're good at rote memorization doesn't mean they're necessarily smart. I mean, look around at what happened. I don't know what country you live in, Ludwig, but here in the US and 5 years ago, the way that people acted around then told me I don't care how high our IQs are comparatively. People are like really dumbed down in the most important ways. Shit, people say their IQ matters, but it doesn't matter. I make more money than most people that had high scores, Joey said. Good for you, Joey. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know somebody that never technically graduated high school and works as an electrician because they were just so good at it. And you know, you can like apprentice your way up through that and stuff. Um, they like barely didn't graduate. Gratitude is my favorite currency, Keith said. Oh, that's nice. I was a dropout and now make 30 an hour. Awesome, Joey. I love hearing that, Joey. Good for you. Rotating crops is not rotating, right? Yes, HR Haskey. That's what I'm saying. Like when you do two or three things over and over for decades, and I'm sorry, like I have mixed feelings about farmers. Like I want to love all of them, but like I kind of feel like they sold a lot of us out, or they just like went along to get along. Things used to be different, and like the steps that they've taken, like they used to set the price for their crops. I don't know exactly what year it happened that the big industries started to say what they would give them for them, and they like all agreed to this and our government and everything, but it's just sad. They're not like feeding America, you know what I mean? If there's like these and like here in like a temperate climate, like you could have permaculture farms all over the place. Could you imagine if like in every there could be a farm like this in every single town where you could like walk around and harvest stuff? And I know people, I've thought about this so much. Like people would ruin the trees and the bushes often, I bet. Like you'd have to like supervise and make sure like people knew how to harvest the things, but like you could have a U pick or a CSA in every single town. If there was a nice greenhouse involved, it could be almost year around. And where was I going with that? Oh, it's so much better for the soil, so much better for all of the environment, all the whole ecosystem, all the pollinators around. Like we've just gotten used to like this patchwork of like corn and wheat and soy, sometimes tobacco, and it's not natural or right. Hey, I'm a friend of Mod Carey. Thanks, Acid Bird, for the gifted membership. Oh, Sham, that's cool. Thanks for letting me know you're here. I'm glad you got a membership and thank you for coming. Mr. Carey is busy right now with his family. Shit, people say their IQ. Oh, I like to read comments twice. White men also built the whole world. Oh, here we go again with the building the whole world thing. Oh, geez, Louise. Yeah, like the only people that did anything ever were white, right? The only people that ever did any physical labor, Ludwig, were white. What is it like to live in that world? Seriously, I'd love to know what it's like to actually be inside a head like yours. Yes, I've been married for 15 years, Jake. Um, I think people of all colors built, if anything, I venture to say, like when people say that slaves built our country, they're not wrong. Do you really think that the people that did like the absolute hardest, most foundational, backbreaking work were all white when we had literal slaves in our country? That's so naive. See, you probably had a high IQ that last time you got tested too, right? Like you're like proving my point. Um, and so this is another thing, like, I'm technically white. Most of my life, I checked Caucasian because there was literally no other box that described me because a Hispanic would literally say, not Caucasian, not white. And I'm like, okay, so finally, like a few years ago, they finally started putting a box for somebody like me. How many people are like, and I almost want, it was kind of weird timing to me. Oh, you're going to like open the floodgates for immigration and at the same time change the way that we here in our census say what we are. Okay. Anyways, most people aren't 98% white or more, and like 100% white. And that's the whole point of our country. And it's just so crazy to me. It's like grasping at straws, the divide and conquer. People are looking for something to blame, someone to blame. I don't know why it's so lost upon them. It's not women, it's not black people, it's not men. It's the rich elite oligarchs at the top that are like setting everything up for all of us to fall. Oh, I got a super chat. I'm sorry. Good talk. Hopefully you can buy a can of Coke with this. Keith, thank you so much. Oh, is that New Zealand? Keith, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You guys have been so great. My last few lives, I'm trying to get an edited video up every day and I failed. This is December 3rd, if you weren't aware. And like my phone being glitchy and stuff, I like really, really want to I want to go live every day and I want to get edited videos up. And your super chats, you don't understand how much that helps. And I'm excited. I have a new microphone coming on the 10th. It's pink. It's one of those like lapel things, that has like the little fuzzy wind mic thing on it. And I'm excited about it. And I got a new light too. That's like it's just something that clips onto your phone, but I think it's gonna be better than this rig up I have. We call them blue collar now, Joey said. Did you just say the manual labor is the thing that matters? LOL, just abandoning any pretense of intelligence, aren't you? Um, I don't know what you're trying to say. Manual laborer is the thing that matters, LOL. I just couldn't imagine going into somebody's live and trying to like one up them in their chat. I have 99 likes. You can go look at my views on my videos. I'm very proud of my channel. Obviously, clearly, if I'm not to your level, if I'm not astute enough for you, you know what to do, where to go. Obviously, there's something that's keeping you here. I'm just a neuro wizard healing myself. I'm a ghost in the machine offering healing strategies, Keith said. See, we've got like real healing going on in here. Like, there's cool people. I'm building a great community. It's not just about me and people wanting to listen to me talk. Um, and the trolls, that's like really interesting to me. It's like a social experiment. I would like to do a live where I have Pearl Davis in the title. I have a well, I don't know, maybe people's feelings about Pearl have kind of died down in the last several months, but I would be really interested to see how people talk in that. And I can see my live chat replays. When I replay I swear I could never see my chat before today. I do think my phone did an update. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, and I know this is probably like a real long shot, but if any of you ever see a replay? Did you see the chat or not? I'm just wondering because I always had such a hard time. I'd be, like, looking for it, and that's why I take screenshots. Amori, I emerald green is I think that's a good way to describe him. Both my parents had green eyes. My dad had, like, super dark, like, forest green eyes, and my mom had, like, pea soup, light green, not, like, one line. Her eyes are, like, a solid green. It's kind of weird. You're the one grasping at straws and making vague statements that you can't prove. It's a YouTube live chat, and I did notes going over Lilly Gaddis and the information I gathered about her. Now we're just talking about our opinions. And like was like guys, I hope some of you are learning about why I talk about misogyny so much and like bring attention to things like men can be just as emotional as women. They get just as gossipy, just as vindictive. They want to be just as psychologically manipulative every chance that they get, and, I do feel like it's a growing thing, or is the internet just, like, bringing awareness to it? Because I feel like men didn't used to be like this, and, like I've said a million my husband just would never. My husband is 40 years old, he's never spent 5 minutes of his life, like, trying to tear down a woman on the internet, but maybe that's because he's been a husband and a father since he was in his early 20s, and I'm sorry, but I think if you were too, chances are you wouldn't be on here doing that. No, Scott, but I am from Louisville. I was born there. I was born on the river. Of course, if all the workers band together, I'm sure they would work out how to fit a light bulb. It's greedy billionaires emitter 9,000. Yes, I completely agree. That's the root of the problem. I think it's great that, like, I agree. It's we owe everything to men who help build and maintain the infrastructure. I just don't know what are we supposed to do past that? Like, what am I supposed to do with that other than like you saw when somebody says, and I know they could be a troll just saying they're a firefighter, but like if somebody says they're a firefighter or a cop, I'm gonna take them seriously just in case, and I'm going to say thank you for your service. I'm always very respectful to everybody. Every single time I'm around a man, I call him sir. I like to be very, it's a the southern, I was gonna say the southern gentleman in me. I'm definitely not a southern belle. My eyes are green. If you're worried about the soil, the environment, diet, you should be in being in USA, you should look into wireless headphones. Yeah, Ludwig, I like I just said, I just got another microphone that I'm not gonna have to use my earbuds because I don't like having them in my ears either. Mike Ish, I am a VACCINE injured person. When I was in my early 20s, our pediatrician told me that my baby might die if he got the H1N1 FLU that was going around that year. It was 2010, and she gave me the last of her 2009 stock. It was February, the end of the flu season. I didn't know any of that. I was just an ignorant 22-year-old mom in the ER that night. Spent 2 weeks sleeping on my bathroom floor. He in his bassinet and his pack and play in the bathroom with me. I was that sick, in and out of the hospital. It wasn't that because it's never that unless you literally die or pass out on the table within 30 seconds of getting the injection. It's never that. It's 1 in a million, and it has to happen literally immediately after you get it, or it's not that. So, obviously, I was pro before that, right? Because I was at the pediatrician's office getting all of them and everything, and, like, then I realized when I was 10 years old, the same thing happened with an MMR booster. That's all I'm gonna say. Same exact story, but nobody put the pieces together. So that's why I say they're not one size fits all. But I do believe they work in theory because they've definitely stopped communicable out diseases, outbreaks of. I've seen them stop the chickenpox in my lifetime, but I just don't feel like they're one size fits all, and the cost is worth it for all of us. Pearl Davis, bless your heart for not knowing who she is. She's like this provocateur type. She's this rich, her daddy's a millionaire. She has nothing else to do with her life. And shortly before she graduated college, she started going online being extremely hateful and she got demonetized on YouTube for a long time. They didn't give her her monetization back for like almost a year, I think. And she, of course she could keep making content because she's a millionaire's daughter. And she says the worst thing, literally women shouldn't be able to vote. She's one of those. All women should do is be a mom, even though she's a career woman herself. All women should be married and pregnant by the time they're 30, even though she's pushing 30 and she's neither, never has been. And so you know, I just couldn't imagine wanting children and hearing all of this, you know, and it not having worked out for me and hearing all of this, I couldn't imagine. There was a woman who was like, it doesn't matter. I'm just saying, she's just so beautiful. This beautiful woman, a receptionist at my work clinic, who had a hysterectomy, and like, she opened up to me a lot about like, and her and her husband, it never worked out for them, and she had to get a hysterectomy because of her medical issues. And I'm just like, gosh, like it breaks my heart. I think about it every day. Like, what a shame. All the people that should be parents that can't, and like all the people that don't take good care of their kids and get like handed this child, and like how do you make sense of that, you know? I couldn't imagine walking around and like pointing the finger at anybody, and like, or like talking shit in general about like the way people talk about how, oh, I'm sorry, I started to say this last night, and the woman was making a post about graduating from like, you know, a very, I think a PhD, I don't know, but like she was like, I'm so proud, I worked so hard, especially the last few years. And like there was just onslaught of comments from lonely men, because why else would you be, once again, my husband would never see that picture and be like, I need to tell her off. I need to tell her why she shouldn't be proud of herself. And it was in biology, I guess her field of study, and somebody was like, oh, you might have gotten a degree in biology, but you're failing at biology by not being a mom. Y'all are still in the literal 1800s. Like you seriously are. I saw this shorts. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm gonna get back in the chat soon. The shorts, it was so interesting because I thought the word spinster came from when women, it was one of the first ways somebody could make money and not be dependent on a spouse. So the old spinster was a woman who decided to just, you know, spin her whatever, wool, thread, whatever, and like turn it into fabric and didn't have to depend on somebody. This lady I saw was talking about how it was like the whole family was, when it first started being a thing, like um even children, especially with their little hands, would spend any extra time you spun, you would be spinning. And like ever since we could make money, it's been a whole family effort. And it wasn't until the Industrial Revolution and so many kids were maimed and harmed in, you know, ways of making money, that they decided to enforce child labor laws, and was like, wait, we can't let little kids work. You know, we've all worked to survive for most of time. Okay. We've all worked always, even little kids until 100 years ago. And like, we really, like, seriously, 20% of women worked in 1920. 37% of women worked in 1950. The women in my family, they might have stayed home with the babies when they were babies, but all the women on my mom's side of the family worked, you know? And that's what I'm saying, like, there wasn't, like, 50s housewife, like, that was, like, literally advertisements. Some middle class people did enjoy that lifestyle, but a lot of people didn't, even when it was more feasible. Acid burn. I'm a firefighter, a cop, an inventor, a genius, a dumbass farmer, a veterinarian, a doctor, psychologist, mechanic, carpenter, physicist, writer, a biologist, a cook, and a lot more. Hi, Eric. How are you doing? Fendi shouldn't have been there in the first place to begin with. Vincent, it was a mistake for me to assume all genders. See, I need to go up and then go down in the chat. You obviously don't watch his shows. Nick is a genius. I do think that Nick is smart in his own ways, but you can be, that's the thing, like, men really need to understand this, like, if you could put yourself in somebody's shoes, like, and I thought that you did know what it was like when feminists, or like, you know, like 10 years ago, that's what I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so mean, they're mean to them when they hold open the door," and, like, I just felt so bad for, and, like, it's like, you know what it's like to be hated just because of what's in between your legs. I don't know why you don't understand, like, It's a complete turn off. I was listening to every single one of his shows for weeks. And when he's like, women, and I am a stay-at-home mom. I am doing what he's saying women should do. I still take offense to it because that doesn't it like you guys, it doesn't take that many years to raise children, okay? Like to be at home your whole entire life and all these things that get brought up, like the workforce doubled, women are why wage stagnation occurred. No, no. Um, so it is interesting. You know, Nick said that he looks up to Stalin. Like I just I'm sorry, I can't um I'll find somebody else to listen to talk about the same subjects. Um Vincent is asking me what are my pronouns? I am an adult human female. That's what I tell people. I'm a woman. I don't really use the pronouns thing. I don't Homie don't play that. He doesn't hate women. Again, it's rhetoric. It's mostly men that watch him. He's just very conservative. Dick, he said it was gay to date a woman. He said it was gay to wear a condom during sex. I just think that is so horrible. When it's mostly young men watching him, I think he's a horrible example for young men. To say it's gay to wear a condom. I had to get a hysterectomy because I had both highest risk types of HPV. I take that very seriously. It's obviously he's just a closeted gay person himself and he hates himself. And a lot of closeted men, they take out their hate on women. It's really unfortunate because, you know, when you're out of the closet, it's the opposite. It's like gay men are great. He is sassy, Fendi. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you have a platform and you're, you know, saying the same things that he says, and it's just horrible all around. And I've learned a lot from you guys. I appreciate like I said I thought that people would accept him, like his followers. And then you guys in the chat were like, no, I don't think so, not really. And then I was like, okay, so that made me think about it. I'm like, if a bunch of men are saying no, then it does make sense. That's why he is continuing the way he is. Nick Fuentes said he admitted the fact that Stalin brought peasants into the nuclear age. He it was something on Tucker's show. He said that, like, you know, he basically did a lot of stuff he looked up to him for. And I just think that if that's the kind of person that you're gonna look up to and spend your time listening to, that's we're all walking batteries. Like I don't give my energy to anybody that I think is like a truly hateful person. And he said women shouldn't literally do anything but be moms. What about the women that can't be moms? What about the lesbians? What about women that don't want to be moms, whether they're a lesbian or not? And I know some lesbians do want to be moms, but you know what I mean? What about like all the women, all the different reasons why a woman might not be a mom? It's so short-sighted. Um, Now you sassy, you're getting cut off. And he said, I don't know who you're talking to. He's right. Women should only be moms. Well, Acor Phelps, it's or go to a seed bank. I don't have a uterus. I don't want to be pregnant anymore. But I just don't think that eh, nobody would listen to somebody that seriously thought that they shouldn't do anything. I think I should go. I'm getting sleepy. I feel so bad for my husband. He's been working, it's like another 14-hour day. It's fucking crazy. I don't know what you mean, Wally Wilson, who are you listening to? But you're right, some of y'all don't need kids. Keith said, emotional states control is beautiful, isn't it? Oh, thank you, Chad. I actually, I used to use two ring lights. In my last few lives, I've just used one ring light. I started using my Bare Minerals, and I use a estrogen face cream. Estrogen derived from soy. It's not like the greatest, but whatever. And I swear, like I started both those things around the same time, and I do think my skin is like looking better. Wait till I get my new light. I'm just saying, Lydia, if I know people and they are sassy, they're getting cut off and blocked. Oh, okay, that's fine, Fendi. Do you think there are two genders, Mike-ish? Well, Mike, that's a loaded question. Uh, the gender spectrum is binary and it's not. There's so much I've learned about that's why I don't like the rigid gender roles. I think we should all just be allowed to be whoever we want to be. And you don't know about casts? I'm sorry, I don't know how it's like a condition where you're intersex. It's really interesting. I'm just oh Boston George gonna cut about okay. Okay. Well, I'm a mosey out. Y'all enjoy the rest of the day. You too, Moonshiner. Um, I'm gonna remove your comment, honey, just because I don't want you to comment like anything about your work. Can tell you how many Nick thinks. I don't know what you mean by that, dict. So if I want to be Austrian painter, be Austrian painter, that horrible guy. You guys are silly. The gods have created us and give us rules and genders. We are entitled to do those roles and profiles that we are made for. Yeah, but like, what about intersex people? Like, I don't think they're mistakes. I think that it's just like nature and the way that things happen sometimes. And that's how I look at transgender people. Like, their gender dysphoria, however they want to express themselves, it's just like all part of the human expression. I just wish that people didn't have to conform so much to rigid gender stereotypes. And I think we'd all be happier and healthier. But I do understand it. Maria, forget all that. Your favorite Powerpuff Girl? Oh, the one with dark hair and green eyes. I have a little like dog tag necklace with her. What is it, Buttercup? I think it's Buttercup. Oh, Mike Coates. No, you cannot. I don't believe you can change races. You don't comment on any guy's work, would you? Are you to comment on God's work? The God made you the way you should be, the way you are. Yeah, I agree. Um, okay. I'd ask what would be beautiful for your to be like, for my what to be like. You like Bubbles? Is she the blonde one or the one with the reddish hair? No, Dick, I think that healthy bodies should only have surgery and for life-saving measures. And I understand some people say that it's life. No, I don't think. There's so many there's people that are, suing now to bring awareness, and people that had surgeries when they were under 18 literally thought that they'd be able to get these things reversed. It's so sad. There's no easy answers. And so I just think that we should all like accept each other. And if we treated each other like human beings and there wasn't such a divide and such rigid gender roles, I would like to think gender dysphoria wouldn't be as much of a problem, but I'm not God. Okay, guys, be whatever you want to be. Just don't force others to call you some crazy title, Snake Man said. What kind of work does your husband do? My wife stays at home with our kids, looking to make a change from a swing shift, Stephen Decker said. He is in transportation. Are you in Kentucky, Stephen Decker? Can't just change gender, just like you can't change your height. I use a color breathing method for training my cells to function sufficiently. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, you brought that up before. Well, um, I'm gonna wait. I don't want to make anybody feel like they have to answer me, but I just want to wait and see if Steven's gonna say anything back to me. But yeah, it seems like I don't know. There's a high turnover rate because they make them work 14-hour shifts. Um, give me advice, Seawall. If you're a 20-year-old male, just work on improving yourself and making money. That's all you can do. Hopefully, that's what you can do. I just have one dog in here with me. The cat's already outside. Oh my gosh. I try to keep him outside today so he could be inside at night because I just like he acts like he's like miserable when he comes in the morning. And I'm like, he seems fine, like he's got an insulated house out there, but like he's gonna be outside all night. Hi, Sophia. How are you? I got a tattoo when I was 11 on my back. My father told me to get rid of it by the next morning. I cried all night cutting it out with a knife. Now I got a tattoo again. Keith, Keith, that's so horrible. Um, I guess me and my sister tried to pierce our belly buttons when we were, I don't remember. I don't, she said that we did, but I don't remember it. And then when we went to get our belly button actually pierced, the guy was like, it was like there was like scar tissue. Have you ever had your belly buttons pierced? And we're like, no. And then my sister's like, remember when we tried to pierce them with a needle? I'm like, how do I? How did I not remember that? That story reminded me of that. So when you start sharing stories like that, that's when you know. Yes, camping guy. I have PCOS. I have like male pattern hair growth. I have a lot of thick hair. When women grow their hair out, it's obviously like it's like wispy and like it's like the hair that comes out of their head. My armpit hair is not like that. I have to shave it every day. Even if I don't take a shower, I have to like shave my pits over the sink. Was that enough information? Now I'm in North Carolina working a chemical plant, so he drives a truck. Yeah, yeah. I just say transportation, but he just left a comment talking about going to anyways. Um, but yeah, it's really tough out there, Steve, and good luck to you. Any working man has my respect or woman, but yeah, so last night I had fun, but like I was trying to make an edited video out of it, and that's what like my phone kept messing up. I have it almost clipped, but it oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. But I really do understand, like, if somebody didn't know my content at all and then they just came into that, I can understand why they might think I'm a man hater because I did call men babies a lot. But I like to think, like, it is, it's just so apparent what is going on with her rhetoric, and she has absolutely no basis. And yeah, I want to clip that up and make it a little cleaner and hopefully get more views on the edited videos. Rude comments fee is 1 million at this time, Keith said. Oh, acid burn. Hold on. Did you say something about going to the doctor? Acid burn. Asking me. Our fetuses start out as male. That's the reason all women have little wieners where the pee comes from. No acid burn. I've heard the opposite, that everybody starts off as a female, and that's why you have nipples, right? The doctor gave me antibiotics, so I should start feeling better. Okay, good. Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that comment. I'm glad you're on antibiotics. Take them like you should, acid burn. Had pneumonia for so long. You need to finish them and everything. I should be good, not rude. Just a curious ambassador, the Tasmanian devil said. Oh, Neiman, you're still in here. I think I'm pretty calm. I know I can get worked up, but even when I do like express myself, like I really don't get that worked up. Like really. Keith said the guy required stop bleeding hypnosis induction for real. Oh, Dick said, I respect your views. I'm actually a big Sylvia Plath fan, just don't agree with much of it. Oh, okay, so somebody brought up this book, The Manipulated Man by Esther Vila, and that was a book, the audio book I listened to, which I actually like didn't think was complete. Hey, cool Caleb, I remember you. How are you? I would like to do a video on that because I do remember thinking she's not wrong, but I just don't think she has the perspective of a lot of women. And this is not to say that if you don't have kids, you're going to be like the woman that she was talking about. But I just felt like she was kind of talking about like women on her path. And it could be insightful for men. It's basically talking about how women manipulate men. That's why it's called the manipulated man. And how like this was written in the 70s too. And then because of Helen Andrews, I found this other anti-feminist icon. This woman who was a lawyer. It's just so funny to me. Like, you're a lawyer, you're a lawyer. And then you speak out about how like all women should be at home moms. It's just so I've got a few good ideas along that path, but like um I'm such a centrist. Even if I don't agree with something, I can like understand where the person is coming from. I am getting ready to go though. Death asked life, why do people love you but hate me? Then life answered, because I am a beautiful lie and you are an undeniable truth. Ooh, that's so deep, Talix. And that's something that I've talked about a lot. You have to always remember you're going to die, really. You know, you take things a lot less seriously, and the things that you need to take seriously, you take more seriously. And you're like, it's a scary thought. It's not pleasant. It's not easy to sit with if you don't have faith in what will happen after we die, but it's important. And that's the reason, a reason why I have thick skin and I don't care about a lot. And I really do believe that we're a part of a cycle. Like, this world is so crazy and messed up, but obviously it's meant to be. Hormonal imbalance, color breathing method, or magic frame safety lessons release technique would be useful for this. Oh no, Stephen. Oh, cool, Caleb. I'll stay on a few minutes for you. I'm gonna hit my vape real quick though. I am back, just had to check on the wood burners. Oh, cool, Bill. I'm so jealous. Like, I asked my husband the other day, I was like, "Do you miss having a wood stove?" We lived off grid for almost a year, if you guys didn't know that. And it was funny. He's like, I was like, "'Cause I do." And he's like, "'Cause he was the one cutting up the lumber." Well, sometimes we just ordered it, you know. Sometimes we just like bought a cord of wood, they call it, but sometimes he had cut it down. Hi, Big Reds. How are you? Oh, thanks for saying I'm super cute, Mike. That's nice. Um, hey, you are very beautiful and gorgeous, Ricky said. Oh, this is so nice. All of the Lily fans have left the building. I'm not gonna say I don't mean to be I don't think it really matters, but no, no, but I don't want to answer any more questions about him. It's like a 20 questions. Like you could probably guess what he's doing if I say he's in transportation. And I mean, you know. Acid burners, you enjoy reading these words. Like everything has to be transported, right? So I guess it could be a number of things, like literally everything we use, and people don't realize how important the supply chain is until and unless they work in it. And like I worked in warehouses and factories. So like I am very aware of the people that are like literally constantly moving around pallets of goods, putting goods off a truck, taking goods off a truck, like, that's some of the hardest work. Loading and unloading semi trucks is hard work, and all the places that I worked, that was, like, one of the, if not the hardest job. Acid burners, you enjoy reading these words, realize how your immune system just automatically and naturally remembers its optimal states more with every healing breath. Um, it's just this flying horse brand, Fendi. It's like the gas station, um oh, thank you, Keith. If you're Are you saying that to me, or are you saying that about something other live? You guys, I'm so dumb. A cart means when you have like the battery and you buy the like oil separate. And when you say that, are you saying nicotine? Are you like saying that? Please don't say it's a cart because that would mean nicotine. I remember go down south to Moorhead and a question I got was, "Y'all from Jersey? Can you rap?" That's funny. Hello from Sydney, Australia. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. My tapestry has a black light shining on it. It's cool. We've had Denmark, Sydney. Who else? There was India. So neat. Um, I used to work in a warehouse years ago and it was cold. Yes, Bill. Most of them aren't temperature controlled, so they're cold and hot. Hernandez. I have plans every weekend. I hope they work out. I'm such a dork. I don't want to say what my plans are ahead of time for safety reasons, but it's going to be fun. Um, I'm going to have like three big outings, like big Christmas type events. One is something I've never been to before. I'm really, really excited about it. Nope, I'm talking about some cannabis, Fendi said. Oh, okay. Oh, Jay. Steven Decker, drivers spend their days on the road. That's how they get paid. You drive to survive. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, I should go. I'm not gonna keep him on the phone. 'Cause when he works like that, I'm like, you don't even have to call me. Like, I like hearing that he's safe at home, but in his hotel, but like I need to retire him. That's what I told him. This morning, I just had a feeling it was going to be a crappy day before it even started for him, not for me. And I was like, like it's only going to be a matter of time till we're like bringing in $10,000 a month, and then I'm bringing in $10,000. That's lofty goals. I really don't expect. I'm just saying, like, I want to make enough money so that he doesn't have to do this. It'd be nice to pay off our debt because we do have a lot of our debt paid off, but it'd be nice to be debt free before I depend on YouTube completely. And I do Instacart, and he's done the Walmart Spark delivery thing. So there's like other ways to make money. But yeah, I thought about being with a Kentucky girl. Not sure if you can handle Jersey life. Alex, you are so smart. You should be a top earning professional. Oh, Mike, that's really nice of you. In another life, Um, I think I would have done really well if I would have stayed in paralegal school, but I'm also glad that I didn't. I'm really glad that I got to concentrate on my kids. So yeah, um, I think it's kind of funny because I did strongly consider making YouTube content like really like before trad wife was a thing, like geared at talking about why like more women should be moms and you should homeschool your kids and like just like I mean this with all my heart. I don't look down on anybody that isn't like but like I am proud of the fact that we have an intact family and like when I see anybody else, like, using their life and getting a platform and looking down on others from it, like, "You should do what I do," and, like, oh, it's so cringy. I'm so glad I didn't take that route. I'm so glad I didn't. I started following Mrs. Midwest, and I was, like, seriously thinking about, like, doing what she was doing, but I was like, she's so pretty." She's like a literal Barbie doll. Like, this was, like, 6 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, I was gonna, like, dress up and curl my hair and, like, be all, like, prim and proper and talk about, like, why it's so great to be an at-home mom," and, like, I decided not to do that. "Oh, hey, honey. Okay, I love you, babe. I'll be off of here soon." I did homeschool. Okay, so one of my kids is at home now user. My older two kids are teenagers. Went in middle school and high school, and they're both in high school now. And they did very well. Why so many homeschool kids work at Chick-fil-A user? I didn't know that. Probably because it's a Christian business and a lot of homeschool kids are Christian. However, the tide is changing. It's not like it used to be. Used to, like when we were in school, like 30 years ago, it was like all homeschooled kids were like the radically religious families and they were just doing it to keep their kids away from everybody that wasn't religious like them, right? It's not like that so much anymore. Oh, J-Man. Um Thanks, J-Man. Well, that's what I'd like to be a good example for people. You know what I mean? Like, it's not so much about being like, I think everybody should be a stay-at-home mom, but like in these times of despair, I'd like to be a beacon of hope just for the like, there are still some people that are still together and happy for the most part. Everybody has their ebbs and flows in their marriage. Homeschool kids over talk though. You think so, user? I don't know. I think it really depends on the kid. I think they're socialized in my experience, I'm not just saying this, they're socialized better. They've been in a variety of situations with more age groups, but I'm not saying you're wrong. Lydia, is there a color related to your hormonal balance first impression? First impression, I just thought purple real quick when I started reading that, Keith. I don't know if that has anything to do with it though. Lots of charter schools. Yeah, Mike, we tried one of those one time. Didn't really work out. But, yeah, that was a unique situation. In Florida, Florida. Oh, thank you, user. I'd like to think so. Not perfect, but I'm definitely proud of my kids. And if you met them, yeah, it's pretty undeniable. We're good parents. We're a good team. And Alex, let me see what you said because you're saying I'm avoiding them. Question: Is interracial couples frowned upon down south? Oh, Talix. See, I think there's like a lot less racism here in Kentucky than people think. I've heard black people have told me that to my face. Like they were surprised how nice people were when they moved here. I have a shorts on my channel, a bigger YouTuber. Um, what it looked like TV. He's a black man, and he said that he visited Kentucky and was so surprised by how nice people are. I think for the most part, there's a YouTuber who's on here sometimes, and she lives in Eastern Kentucky, and she said out in very Eastern Kentucky there are a lot of racists. So that's where like the poorest. There's poor people all over Kentucky, you know what I mean. But Appalachia, the very eastern part, is where like that attitude that I think a lot of and we had unfortunately we had neighbors. The first property we bought down here, we had neighbors that were kind of like that. You ain't from around here. I don't like you because you didn't grow up in this county. Like, and most people aren't like that though. So I don't want to speak for everybody's experiences, but from what I gather, if you stay out of Eastern Kentucky, you usually know. Um, and I've been saying a lot of bad things about Christians lately, but I really do think there's like some truly good-hearted Christians, people that really do love everybody like Jesus. Mom bear, stay strong, stay blessed, Keith said. But Talix, I'm sure there's a lot of people that look down on interracial dating, yeah. But I just don't think that people are, like, scared to go out and, like, there's plenty of biracial people here in, interracial couples. I got 7 kids, as long as your kids can openly communicate with you, you're good, no anger, no judgment, and you'll be alright. Stephen, that's very true, very true. Um I live in Florida. You are not wrong, Mike said. Oh, Jay, man, thank you for subscribing. Stephen Decker, yes, you're right. Kentucky isn't the South, but a lot of people think it is. It's kind of weird because it's like Tennessee is where the South starts, technically, right? But it's still, I don't know, it's weird. It's like there's some gray area where like it feels like it starts in Kentucky. So I understand why a lot of people associate it with Kentucky, because it's not, it's weird. It's not part of the Midwest. Or is it? No, it's not. It's not technically the Midwest, right? That's Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan, right? I don't know. I think it's like what's over there? Minnesota. Oh, it's kind of sad not to have Mr. Carey in here. Everybody think good thoughts for Mr. Carey and his family. And if anybody is feeling if anybody's looking for anybody to support this holiday season, his family needs the help, and I just want to put that out there. Do you know that Jesus in the Muslim faith was viewed as a prophet? Yes, I have heard that, Talix. I have actually heard of that, and I think that that's cool. Most Muslims I've met were some of the nicest people, and it's a shame that the extreme people ruin it for all religions. Fish Shaller, how dare I not read your comment? Well, I'm going to read it right now. Not a big deal. I see North Korea and lived there for 5 days. You lived in North Korea for 5 days. This guy removed his own tattoo with a knife. This guy's a man. You don't comment on any guy's work. You don't comment on God's work. I read that one. Okay. I caught up on your comments. Kentucky is not the South, Fendi said. Yeah, Fendi. Okay. So when we were a part of the Union, but there was also the South. We were technically the Union. That's, I think, what people, like, consider, you know? Right? Yeah. But Kentucky is the place where things clashed a lot. So there was a lot like Liberty, Kentucky is one small town where there was Confederate and Union encampments. So I just feel like that's one reason why Kentucky is the way that it is. And I know that was in what the 1860s, but it still carries over. And that's why there's so many counties. We have over 100 counties in this state, the third amount of counties out of all the states in our country. And there's just like this, like, live and let live type mentality. I swear it just didn't feel it as much anywhere else. Quad Cities Midwest house party said. Arson, oh, you would not be asking for my tips on organizing closets if you saw mine. I was talking about Lily Gaddis, but I'm about to go now, Sandy. Kentucky stayed out of the Civil War? Oh, no, no. I'm saying that they were, Kentucky was a part of like the Union and they were a big part of the Civil War. That's where a lot of clashes happened because it was like the Union and the Confederacy kind of clashed in Kentucky. Any state under Virginia is Southern, Talix said. If you desire a reaction, get an AI friend, Keith said. Praying for Mr. Carey and his family. Keith, thank you for saying that. I'm so glad that you said that. Anybody else that wants to pray, I do believe in the power of prayer. We are walking batteries, and people want to like talk about what does that matter? Well, walking around thinking things like that doesn't matter will also matter. Question for you: if a woman is interested in a man, how does she get his attention? Just by giving him attention, usually, but that can vary. Kentucky was not officially a Confederate state as it remained officially the Union, but it was deeply divided border state with a Confederate government in exile in a significant number. Thank you, Talix. Right. When you feel your hormonal discomfort now in the future and you're beautiful and you're restorative purple until you're automatically in natural peace and comfort with every healing breath, be blessed. Oh, thank you, Keith. Appalachian Mountains are all our people. Yes. Hi, Emma. We are all food for the planet and its vegetation. It will reclaim our bodies long after we pass. Yes, Talix. I want to be buried straight in the dirt. Just put me in there like a dog. I'm gonna go. I love you guys, and I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Oh no, Don Miller, never. That sounds awful. Love you guys. I just want to like decompose in the soil, you know. I think it's kind of silly that we put bodies in airtight coffins so they can just like become gelatinous material and explode and like leak out the coffins. And all the formaldehyde they put in bodies like that like gets in the groundwater eventually. Like cemeteries where there's a cemetery, like that groundwater is going to have formaldehyde. I love talking to you guys. I love you all so much. I'm sorry. I'm getting ready to go. I hate it when people come in like right when I get ready to go. This is Sing, and it's all the way. Well, that's nice. I remember you, Bodie, Body. Bye, Keith. Thank you. Love and respect to you and your family. That's so sweet, Keith. I love you. You make formaldehyde, Stephen? Well, I'm sure you take the safety precautions, right, to, not be affected by it, but it's just every time I see, like, a huge cemetery, I always, like, think about that, and it's, "Is it worth it? Is it?" We need to get used to, like, we used to it's another thing, talk about, like, corporatization taking over. We used to take care of our dead, like, you kept your family's body in your house. I'm sorry, I don't mean to I shouldn't be talking about this. I don't know what any of you are going through, but, like, it's another example of, like, how we used to have it was big business coming in, the undertaker started coming and taking the bodies, and then it's like, we used to have our funerals at home, and, uh, Caitlin Doherty, the Ask a Mortician. I love her and her channel, and she made me feel a lot better about death. And I think it's beautiful when people have actual traditions for their dead loved ones around the world. Mr. Carey, as you have a blessed life, as you just automatically and naturally adapt, improvise, and overcome to naturally thrive in positive and not so positive situation with every healing breath. Okay, I am going to go now.